There's a lot more to it. Domestic violence is a very dynamic crime.
Almost 100% of domestic abusers are controlling individuals.
My name is Dan Tomaino. I've been with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department for 12 years.
My name is John Carpenter. Been a detective with Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department for 20 years.
I don't know, 100 to 150 cases a month.
Those people who do beat their spouse, they beat them quite regularly.
Different types of contributing factors when you're dealing with domestic violence, or any type of violence really. Money, sex, religion, politics, other relationships, stresses at work, past issues with other relationships.
If you're an abuser and you've been using all your strength to keep from abusing your spouse, alcohol might allow you to now strike your wife or be an abuser on your family. But I don't think alcohol is, or even drugs, is the cause of people beating you. It just removes your inhibitions.
I'd love to be able to identify that every single one of these things is going to create a domestic violence situation, but it's not, because responsibility still has to come back to the individual that happens to be battering the other individual, and the individual who's taking the battery and what they do. So responsibility still lies with the victim and the suspect for what actually happens, and whether or not they're going to be a battery, or whether or not they're going to be battered, or they're going to batter somebody else in the relationship. Responsibility, personal responsibility, still means more to me in every one of my investigations than any contributing factor that I can identify.
One of the ways that I believe that as a society we can prevent future domestic violence is to educate young women how to recognize potential abusers and not get into a relationship with them in the first place, or terminate those relationships early when they recognize the signs of abuse. The signs are many, and they're not always easy to recognize, but any signs of, I would say, jealousy, possessiveness, and things that some young girls think are cute early in a relationship, that, oh, he's jealous. Well, that is a sign that he could become dangerous in the future. Physical things that they can do are wanting to know your password to your Facebook or your computer, wanting to look at your phone to see what's on there. That kind of behavior lets you know that this is a controlling individual. I guess it can be challenging dealing with repeat victims who choose not to leave their spouse. They'll call you one day and ask for help, but they won't or refuse to do some of the things you recommend, like go into a safe house, like moving out, like go into their family and separating from this. They want the guy magically fixed, but they don't want to leave him.
We, as investigators, try to give several different things for our victims of crime. We try to give them the opportunity to get a protective order to basically stop the individual. Granted, it's just a piece of paper, but it's a line of defense for us in our investigations to be able to actually go after the person who's abusing them.
They want their spouse to stop the abuse. I mean, that's normal to want the abuse to stop, but they're not willing to do what's necessary to get him to stop, which is either get him arrested and get him in front of a judge.
There's no way for an outsider to stop domestic violence, in my opinion. I can't stop what's going to happen inside your home. I can't stop your husband or your wife from harming you or harming your kids inside your home.
Follow through with the prosecution process in order to get him in front of a judge so the judge can put him in a counseling program. And a lot of the victims are not willing to do that. So basically they're not willing to do that which is going to help them improve their husband or get their husband to stop beating them.
I can react only if you're willing to be a good victim. And a good victim isn't that they are a good person, it's just that they're willing to cooperate with us in law enforcement to be able to get their case presented to a district attorney so that case can get prosecuted, so that individual, should they be found guilty in a court of law, does time. I have yet to find anything that's going to stop domestic violence.